Hey everyone, my name is Erin and welcome to Everywhere on Earth with Erin travel channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my first day exploring Egypt. So we're up very early today because we are going to go explore the pyramids of Giza. Now I absolutely love getting up early. Those of you that know me know that this is a lie. That's extreme sarcasm. I hate getting up early. I always find it because it's really weird for me to eat breakfast that early. But the folks at the Oasis Hotel, they put out this amazing spread of food with everything I could possibly want at 6 a.m. that my body just doesn't want to eat. So I managed to have some food because you kind of have to, because it's probably going to be a while before we eat again. So now our bus is to depart at 7 a.m. to get to beat some of the crowds and before it gets too hot. The group of Americans that I mentioned earlier don't quite understand the concept of being on the bus on time, and so we're around, I think we're at least like half an hour late because it took them forever to get their asses to the bus. So anyways, that may become an issue later on. Stay tuned. Anyways, so we get as we're driving to the Giza plateau, because it's elevated up a little bit. I'm super excited to get my first glimpse of them through the bus window, and I just can't believe I'm here. Like, it's seriously amazing. So now, the Giza pyramid complex consists of 3 giant pyramids. They were built during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of ancient Egypt. There are many pyramids built throughout Egypt, but these are the largest, and they are part of the 7 wonders of the world and the only one that is still intact and that still exists today. They were built by hauling stones from a quarry, and then they would stack them to form the shape. Limestone was used, but just as a casing, and then the stones were carved to make sure that they were all the same shape to give it symmetry. The limestone casings are not there anymore. So what you see is the core blocks of the granite. The limestone was actually taken away from the site and used to build other structures in Cairo. So if you see some other structures, that might be the limestone from the pyramids. History says that it took around 30 years to complete one pyramid. The purpose of the pyramids was to house the remains of the dead pharaohs, or the kings of ancient Egypt, and it had all the items that they were going to need for the afterlife in the pyramids as well. The body was embalmed and wrapped in linens, which is like mummies. And as you can see here, I have a guest. We're going to try to hide him throughout this, but that's Whiskey. He's behaving, so we're going to let him stay. But just, you wonder what's peeking out behind me? It's him. All right, so we get to the entrance gate of the pyramids, and it's like really tight security, so you do feel safe. So all bags, all people go through scanners, no weapons, no bombs, right? So we walk towards the largest and main pyramid of Khufu, and Ramez begins his very first history lesson to us about the pyramids. Then we have some free time to explore. If you want to see inside the pyramid, you can pay the extra fee and check it out, but I didn't, because you have to get it right away. And then I tried to go in afterwards when I figured out I had some spare time. They said no, I had to go back to the ticket office. So if you really want to do it, get it right away when you first get in. So, sorry, I'm just going through my blog here. So what's really cool is you can get right up close to this pyramid. You can't climb it, obviously, but you can get up and see the rocks and everything. So me and Marcelo wander around to the other side, and this guy is following him, wanting him to take pictures. Marcelo's like really nice about it, but this guy is just not leaving us alone. And luckily, I have no problem telling him no, and eventually he does leave us alone. But that's what these guys do, right? Like, they want to follow you around, and then they'll take all your pictures, and then they want you to pay them. Whatever. I have my own personal photographer with Marcelo, and he with me. And I can take a pretty mean selfie, so no thank you. But then there's a lot of guys that like actually ask to see your ticket as well. This is a known scam. Ramez told us to ignore them, but of course I go one step further and tell the guy he's a scammer and he's not seeing my ticket. And then like that shut him up real quick, so haha. So bottom line is, when you're here, you're trying to enjoy your time and admire the pyramids, and you're being constantly harassed by people that want to sell you stuff and people that want money, and it's kind of annoying, but you know what, that's just the way it is, so what can you do? And then this pyramid you can't get quite as close to, but this is the pyramid of Khafre. I didn't go quite that far, but I've taken some pictures here. So it's the second largest one in the Giza complex, and you can see actually at the top there, the limestone casing is still intact. So that's cool. I guess those looters didn't get that far up. So then we go back onto the bus and we drive to the other side of the pyramids. Now there's a popular viewpoint where you can see all the 3 pyramids lined up, and then you can take some awesome pics doing funny things to the pyramids like this. Pretty much everyone takes that photo, and then also we've got the group shot, mandatory group shot of my awesome group. And now we're gonna ride camels. So I have been on a camel a couple of times before, but I still think it's worth doing. It's a really cool experience. It's always fun and challenging because when the camel gets up and down, it really feels like you're gonna topple over the front, but you don't. So it's pretty cool. But you still have to have like a good balance because it is wobbly and the camel's quite tall, so you're pretty high up. So you still, you know, you got to be like a little bit careful when you're riding it. And then we stop at the guy. We take some funny pictures like this one. This one's funny because we stop and you can kind of see my face in the picture. And the guy's like, put your hands up in the air. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's got this little rock and he's holding the rock in front of my phone. I'm like, I don't know what this guy's doing, so I'll just listen. And then, oh my God, the picture here is actually so funny. So it turned out it was a good idea. So now we get back on the bus and it's a short drive over to the Great Sphinx. It's like a smaller area. Ramez does a little talk again, and we're trying to keep cool and find some shade in the heat. This is our suited up security dude. He stands nearby to protect us. Now, the photo area where you are closest to the Sphinx is pretty crowded, so I don't really want to spend a ton of time here, but I do want to take a lot of pictures. So just so you know, the Sphinx is a mythical creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human. And the Sphinx here is made of limestone, of course. It's said that the face of the Sphinx is Khafre, which is the guy that has, which is one of the pharaohs, sorry, that had the one of the pyramids, but then some say it's Khufu because it was around before maybe the pyramid of Khafre. I don't know. You got to do some history check on that. But I think the jury's still out on it. And it is actually thought to be the oldest monumental sculpture in Egypt because they still don't know exactly when it was built and what purpose it was for. Maybe just, you know, for in memory of one of the pharaohs. Who knows, right? So he is a handsome fellow for sure, but he doesn't have a nose, and then apparently some of his beard has come off as well. There's a guy that works here, and he has convinced me to give me his phone, sorry, to give him my phone so he can take some pictures. I'm a little bit hesitant, but he seems pretty trustworthy, and he keeps telling me he works there, so cool. Turns out it was a good choice. He didn't want any money from me either. He just wanted to take these pictures. So enjoy these here of the Sphinx doing funny things and me doing funny things to the Sphinx and giving him some serious love. And that's it. That's the my visit to Giza and the pyramids and the Sphinx. I'm going to continue this video with our next stop of the day, but I don't want the video to be too long, of course. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my little stop at the pyramids, and of course subscribe to my channel or check out my blog here. And take care, everyone. See you soon.